Hello guys, I did not record a video for a while, and there's an owl here. Wow, I didn't see one in a while. I did not record a video in a while, and because I didn't want to, there's some things that were happening and I didn't want to say anything, and I'm on my way home, so I might as well record it. It's actually the first time I'm recording a video like this. It's not really my way of doing it usually. I'm a little bit shy, but you gotta expand your boundaries. So I've got a few things I can teach you guys on this thing from my experiences, obviously, and hopefully it's gonna be helpful. I might genuinely escape the 100k race pretty soon. I don't know how soon, but soon, hopefully. There's a lot of things that are going on, but in general, so one big client reached out to me. Things did not work out with them. However, I reached out to another big client, and I've prepared a whole day for them. I've literally wrote like a 15,000 or 20,000 character document for them, outlining entire strategy for the channel. Right, so just following like Alex Hormozi's thing. I just prepared so much for the call that hopefully, he'll be just amazed and overwhelmed, and at the very least, he would recommend me to somebody else. Now, he didn't really reply yet regarding the actual document and how good that is. So we'll see. It'd be kind of a shame if he never actually checked it out. But either way, it's still usable. So I can use it for I can use so much of that knowledge. Generally, writing is just so good. You're not going to be able to see me sometimes. Writing is so good because it makes you think, and it makes you get knowledge out of your head and solve problems on paper. And then you can use that content, right? You can reuse it everywhere. Like that document, even if he doesn't hire me, I can still use it for my Twitter, for my YouTube, for my newsletter, for anything, or even for this content, right? So there's that. And then I'm working on a lead magnet as well at the same time. The plan is I'm basically working so much on it right now. I'm designing some images for it. I hope that's fucking worth it, because there's a lot of effort that goes into that. 6 hours I spent into that, literally, and then another 3 hours writing the actual thing. We'll see how good that is. So at the end, it's gonna be like a Notion document. I'll make a post about it, and then at the end there'll be like a call to action for I think so far I'm thinking like a free consultation, and then from there I'll have like an offer developed for them. But we'll see. So there's that. And then after that, if that doesn't work, so I'm also waiting for the response from that person. I'm not gonna say who it is, because it's a pretty big account actually as well, which is why I was so excited. And that's a whole different story for another day. And if they don't respond, I have another plan, which is I'm gonna use all the emails on our newsletter, write an email, maybe using that document. See, we're using that stuff already, and have another call to action at the end somewhere, doing something like that. I don't need a lot, even people just to say yes. I just need some people to say yes, and then we'll go from there. So then there's that, and then I actually have another plan, which I'm gonna tell you guys, but I'm not gonna tell my friends yet. But if you're watching, then I guess it's time to know. So I met a person, they know this part, I met a person in a cafe, which is actually a pretty good thing to do in a cafe. You meet lots of people there, if you sit there every day especially. I met a German person who is quite rich. I've talked to him quite a lot. And I also have another friend that I know who also has a lot of money, and I might ask him for an investment with a return back on their money, and maybe with some guarantee, if I don't get their money back, then if they don't get money from the investment, I'll just pay it back. So that's pretty much guaranteed. It's crazy. It's gonna be a crazy offer if I do something like that. So there's that. I might want to research what a fair offer is, because I might give them a way to go of an offer, and then they're just gonna it was just dumb. But I think that would be a pretty good thing. I'll use that money for starting a YouTube channel, right? So faceless YouTube channels. I have all the knowledge for that and all the skills. and I could even use the help of my friends, and we can partner it and stuff like that. So we'll see. I just have to find a niche and things like that. So that's what's going on so far. And here's the thing I learned, which is quite valuable. The way you're feeling is really important, both physically and mentally. And so, damn, some cars are like, just don't care. So, one thing is you have to always have a second plan in mind. So don't always just rely on one plan, have a backup plan. Because you have to assume, right, you're playing this game, you're trying to achieve a goal, let's say money, right? And you don't know how many tries it's going to take. You know it's going to take some tries, you know you're going to fail, you should be expecting that, right? You should be playing for the long term, because that makes things a little easier. Like, I have some things to lose, but if you don't, then just play for the long term, right? You want to keep an open loop in your mind, because if you don't and you have a plan and it fails, you close the loop and you feel like shit, because now you feel lost, you lost momentum, you don't know what you're going to do next, you're losing time, you're losing money, you're losing everything. So always have, like the way I just introduced right now, always have a backup plan for your current plan. So you should be thinking, okay, if this doesn't work, you give it all, you try your best. If it doesn't work, okay, you do the next thing. I think this is very important, especially when you're starting out. I don't know how it's going to be like when I'm actually going to have already like money coming in and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I think in general you want to keep momentum. That's very important. Now recently I figured out my health as well, and more specifically my sleep. My sleep has been horrendous because of caffeine, and I didn't know that. And I tried so many things to fix my sleep, but I didn't think of caffeine because I was drinking it in the morning, sometime after waking. Just like Huberman, if you don't know him, you should listen to him. I was talking, I was doing everything that he said, but still my sleep was shit. So eventually I experimented with caffeine and figured out that was a problem. Doesn't matter when I drink it or how much, my sleep is still bad. So I started drinking decaf, and my sleep has improved by a lot, which results in everything. Like, I am thinking better, I feel better, and that impacts everything. So it's really important to focus on your health as well, and it's connected to the recent experience I had with preparing for that call. Now I'm thinking more about fulfillment, for which I want to feel the best that I can mentally. I want to have the clarity, I want to have the energy. Like, I drink caffeine, but I don't, like having that energy as if you're drinking coffee, like 4 cups of coffee every day. And for that you want to optimize your diet, your sleep, your mental health. So some of the things I'm thinking about so far is, so basically this is your your diet, as I said, your sleep, your overall cognitive state. So you do that by meditation, things like that. Then you in general, so if you have certain habits when you procrastinate, and those are just behaviors that you can retrain. So that's the other thing that you can do to optimize that. That's my theory. And then the other is I forgot. I wrote it down somewhere. I swear. I'll come back to that. That's not the thing that I was going to say. What was I going to say? Yes. Okay. The other thing is, generally maintaining momentum is so important. It's unbelievably important. You have to, so being healthy, both diet and exercise, you will not only gain momentum more, but you will stop yourself from losing momentum, and even worse, getting into negative feedback loops, which is horrible. That makes you lose so much momentum. One of the most common, which people call ruts, getting into a rut. I got into rut recently, and it's been horrible. I've lost so much time. I wish I didn't. It's one of the most expensive things I think that can happen in your life. And bad things can happen and you always get sick, but there are, it can cost, a fair amount or an unfair amount. So you want to make it as inexpensive as possible. So you do that by some protocols, some things you can do, and by health, right? So you don't want things to get into negative feedback loops, especially from sicknesses, because that's the most common triggers for a negative feedback loop and getting into a rut. The others are emotional events, which still helps a lot, right? Like if you're sleeping well, if you're eating well, things aren't going to impact you as much, and that's really important. So genuinely think about your health. I want to say maximize your sleep 100%. Like this is free. You don't need to spend money on sleep, to make it better. One challenge would be maybe making your room colder if you live in a hot country, or maybe warmer. But in general, everything else is pretty easy to fix. Same with diet. It's actually mostly with diet. Just stop eating bad stuff. Rather than I'm fixing my diet, I'm trying to optimize it, but it's more just about stopping doing things rather than doing them. Take a look at Brian Johnson's blueprint and Andrew Huberman's podcast. They're really good for optimizing your health. You don't need to be perfect. It just needs to be like 75%. You just need to be decent, and then everything else will get so much easier. That's what I've learned so far. I think things are going to be going really well. Sorry that I have not been recording or uploading so much, even though nobody's watching right now, but it's okay. Might be trying to do some more shorts to promote the channel, but we'll see. See you guys later.